I'm very excited that you have made this commitment to take this journey with me. This course is designed to introduce you to new concepts and interpretations to promote your rapid spiritual growth. I'm going to start off by giving you the method that I have used to determine what is true for me. Since a lot of the information that I was receiving came from my dreams, meditations, and channelings, most of the information was abstract ideas and theories, so I needed a way to put it to the test, and what I used was the scientific method. Observe, question, research, hypothesize, experiment, test your hypothesis, draw a conclusion, and then report. The first thing we have to do is observe, and it's through our observation that leads us to having questions. It's through our questioning that leads us to research, right? So we search for existing answers and solutions, and then we hypothesize, which is a supposition, a proposed explanation made on the basis of limited evidence as a starting point for further investigation. And then we experiment, test our hypothesis, draw a conclusion, and then report. We share our results. This course is my results of 25 years of research into the understanding of who and what we are. Throughout this course, I will briefly touch on a lot of different topics. The reason I'm not going to go too in depth with every topic is because we have a lot of ground to cover, which may lead you to have some questions. So I encourage you to do your own research. As stated earlier, I will be hosting a Q&A as we progress through this course to help assist you in this amazing journey. All I ask from you is to be open and don't take what I believe to be true as your truth unless you listen and feel it within your own intuition. The foundation of this information is that everything is energy. I'm going to show you in this week's lesson that everything that surrounds us, that is within us, is energy manifesting into form. Let's start with taking a look at one of the greatest minds of our time, Nikola Tesla, and what his perception of matter and energy were. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. I believe that Nikola Tesla hit the nail on the head when he said, think in terms of vibrations and frequencies. Because he had the understanding that everything that surrounds us, all the matter that exists, is nothing more than vibrations. And he was able to tap into these vibrations and create amazing things. He is the father of the 21st century. And for those of you who don't know who Nikola Tesla is, his top 10 inventions were alternating current. He invented how light can be harnessed and distributed, not just through wires, but wirelessly. X-ray, radio, remote controls, electric motors, robotics, lasers, wireless communication, and limitless free energy. And this is all in the early 1900s. There are a minimum of 278 patents credited to Tesla in 26 countries that have been accounted for. Interestingly enough, throughout all my years of schooling, I never heard of Nikola Tesla. And he created limitless free energy and wireless communications in the early 1900s. And yet, wireless communications didn't come out until the 1980s, 1990s. So another quote that I thought was fitting that Tesla stated was, "I don't care that they stole my idea, I care that they don't have any of their own." Nikola Tesla, 1856, 1943. These are some of the most popular terminology that we utilize to measure energy. So we use words like vibrations, vibrate, and frequency. We meet people who are like, oh, that person has good vibes, or that person has bad vibes. Exactly what are we talking about? So the definitions of vibrations are: 1. The act of vibrating. 2. The state of being vibrated. Vibrate. 1. To move rhythmically and steadily to and fro as a pendulum, oscillate. Number 2. To move to and fro, up and down, quickly, repeatedly, quiver, tremble. Frequency. 1. Also frequence. The state or fact of being frequent, frequent occurrence. Number 2. The number of periods or regularly occurring events of any given kind in a unit of time, usually in 1 second. Number 3. The number of cycles or completed alterations per unit of time of a wave or oscillation. So when you look at a vibration, the vibration is something moving. The frequency is how frequent that is moving. Now if you look at a light bulb, you'll see the light bulb looks like it's steady, but yet it's vibrating at 60 hertz. so it's blinking 60 times per second, but yet our eyes can't capture that because it's going so fast. Also, this universe is one verse in the multiverse. Uni, meaning one, verse, expression. This universe's expression is polarity. We're here to master the vibration of polarity, meaning we're here to master dualistic expression. Good, bad, hot, cold, male, female, white, black, sleep, awake. All these expressions are vibrational experiences. Remember, vibrating is this, right? In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. The vibrations and frequencies of the human energy fields. What we think we are, pure matter, but what we truly are is pure energy. And it's that energy that is manifesting matter into form. How we understand and utilize our surrounding are through our senses. And it's through our senses that we're able to experience and decipher the surrounding energy that is around us. Vibrational interpretations, the sources of our experience. We have our 5 major senses: hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, touching, and the 6th sense, intuition. Now, how do we utilize all of these senses? These senses are how we interpret our environment. And what we're interpreting is vibrational frequencies. We hear frequencies, we see in frequencies, we smell in frequencies, we taste in frequencies, and we touch in frequencies. And where's intuition? Intuition is what? A feeling inside of us, right? So if you have a gut feeling, that is a vibrational frequency that you're feeling. So this next film is going to give a great demonstration of how our senses work energetically.
The act of seeing is realized progressively. At the instance of seeing, light clusters called photons travel from the object to the eye and pass through the eye lens, where they are refracted and focus on the retina at the back of the eye. Here, rays are turned into electrical signals and then transmitted by neurons to the center of vision at the back of the brain. The act of seeing actually takes place in this center in the brain. All the images we view in our lives and all the events we experience are actually experienced in this tiny and dark place. Both the film you are now watching and the boundless landscape you see when you gaze at the horizon actually fit into this place of a few cubic centimeters. Now, let us reconsider this information more carefully. When we say we see, we actually see the effect the rays reaching our eyes form in our brain by being converted into electric signals. When we say we see, we actually observe the electrical signals in our brain. By the way, there is another point that has to be kept in mind. The brain is sealed to light, and its interior is absolutely dark. Therefore, it is never possible for the brain to contact with light itself. We can explain this interesting situation with an example. Let us suppose that in front of us there is a burning candle, and we view its light. During this period, when we view the candle's light, the inside of our skull and our brain are in absolute darkness. The light of the candle never illuminates our brain and our center of vision. However, we watch a colorful and bright world inside our dark brain. The same situation applies to all our other senses: sound, touch, taste, and smell are all perceived in the brain as electrical signals. Therefore, our brains throughout our lives do not confront the original of the matter existing outside us, but rather an electrical copy of it formed inside our brain. It is at this point that we are misled by assuming these copies are instances of real matter outside us. These physical facts make us come to an indisputable conclusion. Everything we see, touch, hear, and perceive is matter. The world, or the universe, is only electrical signals in our brain. For instance, we see a bird in the external world. In reality, this bird is not in the external world, but in our brain. The light particles reflecting from the bird reach our eye, and there they are converted into electrical signals. These signals are transmitted by neurons to the center of vision in the brain. The bird we see is, in fact, the electric signals in our brain. If the sight nerves traveling to the brain were disconnected, the image of the bird would suddenly disappear. In the same manner, the bird sounds we hear are also in our brain. If the nerve traveling from the ear to the brain was disconnected, there would be no sound left. Put simply, the bird, the shape of which we see, and the sound of which we hear, is nothing but the brain's interpretation of electrical signals. Another point to be considered here is the sense of distance. For example, the distance between you and this screen is nothing but a feeling of space formed in your brain. Also, objects that seem to be very distant in one person's view are actually images clustered at one spot in the brain. For instance, someone who watches the stars in the sky assumes that they are millions of light years away from him. Yet the stars are right inside himself and the center of vision of his brain. While you watch this film, you are in truth not inside the room you assume yourself to be in. On the contrary, the room is inside you. Your seeing your body makes you think that you are inside of it. However, you must remember that your body too is an image formed inside your brain.
Interesting, huh? How the universe is really inside of us. I think it's absolutely amazing how our senses interpret our surroundings by using electrical impulses within us to project our experiences.